Alright, what's up guys? My name's Lucas, or Resistance on Threadless. I've got an idea, just wanted to do it in a video format. Sometimes big long blogs that are really descriptive get ignored, so I figured a video would be a better way to explain my idea. My idea is called the Collab Crew. What this would be is a group of people or an effort put forth by anybody who wants to be a part to get more good ideas printed. And the way it would work is, let's say, this is kind of in my experience, you've got a good idea and you sketch it and you work on it and you put in the critiques and you try to get feedback and you illustrate it as best as you can, or I illustrate it as best I can, and then I put it up and it doesn't score as well as I'd hope and it doesn't print. Now, that can challenge you to be a better artist, but it can also be a little depressing and upsetting. You're like, man, it was a really good idea, and I really thought this idea, when I pictured it in my mind, it could have been printed by Threadless, because it's sort of in that vein of what Threadless likes to print. What the Collab Crew would do is you'd submit your idea to the pool of ideas, and we'd go through and pick out the ones we think are the best, and we would say, okay, this is the idea we're currently working on, and anybody who wants to can design it. So people that are really, really skilled, like some of my favorites like Buko and Alex, like guys like that are designing your idea. So the potential for it to be printed has just skyrocketed. Not just because you've got guys that are really good working on it, but because you have all sorts of different people working on it. Everybody's got a different style. You've got newer guys who've been printed that have a really, sort of their own style. Like Rider Revolution, I really appreciate some of the stuff he's done. And then Randy Otter's kind of got his own way of drawing. And then you've got like really, really just the sort of the kings of being printed, like Alex and Buko. Or then really, really interesting styles like I Go to Cairo. So those guys are designing your idea. So instead of just you doing the best you can and submitting it and sort of, oh man, I hope it scores well, I hope it gets recognized, your idea is now going to be up there like, 15 or 20 times. Now this is great for Threadless, because if they look at the idea and they think, wow, that's really funny, that's really cool, we've not done anything like that before, but it's not as good as we'd hoped, or it didn't score very well, not very many people said they would buy it, or the execution's very poor. It's not Threadless print caliber design. Well, now they've got a bunch of others to choose from. So if Threadless likes the idea, they can now pick the way it was executed, the way they think is the best. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that every time an idea gets put up and some of the really skilled guys work on it, well, theirs is going to get printed. That's not necessarily true. There are some really unique styles on the website that may take your idea to a level that it would never have gotten to had somebody not touched it. Like somebody like Randy Otter, who has his own style, may take your idea to a whole new level. You never know. Now, some people might think, well, if this is a collab called the Collab Crew, if this is a collaboration, typically collaborations you're going to split down the middle, it seems a little lopsided. People are just throwing up sketches and ideas, and then people are, slavishly working on them and hoping to get them printed, and the designers are getting, half, and the idea guy's getting half. That seems lopsided. Well, my comeback to that is that this is not meant to be like just a cluster of crappy ideas and people who can't design hoping to get printed, hoping to get money from a print. That's not the idea here. The idea here is for a few of us, anybody who's interested, to select a few of us to sort of scour through the ideas and pick the ones we think are really good. And I think we've got some really creative, really funny people on the website, so the odds of us getting good ideas are high. Like, we're not going to get a bunch of crap, so that's not a concern of mine. So we pick a really good idea and we put it up. Now what happens here is if you're one of the guys who's really skilled at designing, but you're running dry right now on ideas, you can't think of a single thing, you can come to the Collab Crew anytime. There's a free idea right there for you to use. It's not stealing. It's not, you're not going to get accused of making something too similar to something that somebody's already made. Completely legitimate, a free idea, and now you can take it to its fullest potential. If you've got tons of skill and tons of prints, you can take this idea to its highest capacity of potential and where it can go as a design. So if you're interested, comment on the blog and say you're interested. And if you're interested in just designing or submitting ideas, say so. We're going to have a Flickr group where the ideas can be printed. Now, if you're interested in being a judge, if you want to be a little bit more involved, just say so, and then we'll sort of trade emails, so then we can scour through the ideas and say, hey, I think these ones are the best right now, and then we'll kind of put them in order. So then what we'll do is we'll have an idea that's up. That's the idea we're working on. We'll put our little logo on it so everybody knows why there's 25 designs that seem like they're the same idea. That way, people kind of understand what's going on, so they don't think it's just retarded that there's 20 of the same thing up. And then we'll have an idea that's on deck. So if you see the current idea and you're like, I don't really think that's that cool or funny, or I don't think I could do that, you can see the idea that's on deck. So if you see the idea on deck includes something like a grizzly bear or a lion, you can go and get your pictures and your inspiration and your rough sketches to kind of get practiced at drawing that animal or object or car, like if it's buildings or something. So then you're sort of prepared. Like once the idea comes up and is ready to go, you've already got a lot of groundwork done. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the blogs, and as always, I love Threadless.